magandang gabi po. So, I'm really excited to be here, no? Kasi matagal-tagal na akong hindi nakabalik sa Hong Kong. I think 4 or 5 years ago, I was here doon sa isang activity. And I'm always happy na nakapag-mission ako. Other than yung mission area ko, which is Australia and Biliran province. And sabi ko, I'm really excited kasi syempre pag sa mission ka naman sa Australia, diba? Twice a year I go there. And sa Biliran, I also go there every 3 months. But I still have a work. We are entrepreneurs. I operate a grocery. And then my wife is a drug lord. And then pharmacist po yung asawa ko. May mga drugstore po siya. Hindi ko kami natutukhang. And hindi nga siya nakasama ngayon because she has to watch over our 7 kids. No? From originally 1, naging 7 na po. Long story sa ibang. Imbitahin niyo ako ulit. May share ko po yung story na yan. But tonight I'm called to witness. No? Called to witness just to share with you God's love sa aming pamilya, sa ginagawa namin. Because ang totoong ginagawa po namin pagka ako nagbibigay ng talk is pinapakita ko po yung pagmamahal ko sa Panginoon. I am called to be here saying yes to God because I want to be a witness sa nagawa ng Panginoon sa aming buhay. At most of us here may nakita rin mong mga pagbabago sa buhay, no? Nung nag-join po kami, sabi sa akin ng wife ko, join tayo ng community. So, noong 2001, ako po ay napilit na mag-join because she keeps on praying for me. Alam niyo po, napaka-powerful po ng prayer. Kasi ako palagi po sinasabi, it's not my thing. Most of the brothers here, kapareho po yan, mahirap kong kumbinsigin mag-join ng community. So, ang ginagawa ko sa akin ng wife ko, pinagpa-pray po niya ako every night. No? Kasi she's very prayerful. She goes to mass every day. Kasi ang pinagdadasal na ma-convert po ako. So, nung naramdaman ko, pag minsan isang linggo, pinag-pray niya yung paa ko, nararamdaman ko yung kamay niya sa paa, and then minsan nasa tiyan. No? After a few months, weeks and months nakalipas, palagi ganun ginagawa niya kasi nauna po ako natutulog. Ang tulog po namin is dahil po sa gabi, di ba, mga negosyante, minsan puyat palagi, pagkasarado ng tindahan, tsaka ako kami nag-check ng mga reports. So, nauna ko nang natulog kasi mas tamad akong magbasa ng mga reports siya, masipag. So, nung she's trying to convince me, very powerful kasi pinag-pray over niya ako. Nararamdaman ko may mga binubulong-bulong siya sa akong nag-pray siya. Hanggang one morning, hindi ako makahinga. Kasi siguro after a few months, parang bigla ako nagising. Naramdaman ko yung kamay niya nasa leeg ko. Hindi ka na-convince Lord, kunin mo na siya. So, next slide. Called to witness. And it's true, brothers and sisters. After that, I said yes. Because ayoko na pong na-experience ulit na hindi ako makahinga. So, next slide. So, that was my calling. No, when I said yes in 2001, nag-join kami ng community. And then, 13 weeks po yun, wala po akong naging absent. It was like a tremendous event for me na I saw how the Lord has really transformed our lives. No? So, next slide. So, ang ginagawa ko po ngayon is to really show God. When I say yes in our community na maging mission volunteer, inisip ko, paano naman yung aming negosyo, no? Paano naman yung tindahan na sino ngayon magbabantay? I've been going out every time. Isipin niyo po naman, pag pumunta sa Australia, mahina po yung 3 linggo. But, I mean, it's amazing. Just to share you very quickly, napakaganda po ang nangyayari. Because instead na pag wala ako doon, bumabagsak yung benta, tumataas pa yung benta. So, sabi ng mga partners, sige, mag-mission ka lang. So, after that invitation, I said yes to God. And Jesus always reminds me na I will take care of you, no? As long as you do witnessing to me. No? In John 14 verse 15, it says, if you love me, you will obey my commandments. So, ano nga ba yung mga commandments ng Panginoon? No? What is the greatest commandment, if I may ask? No? So, let's look at the greatest commandment, which is in Mark 12, verse 30. It says, love the Lord God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind, and with all your strength. The second commandment is this, no? Love your neighbor as yourself. There is no commandment greater than this. No? So it's important if we... Next slide. So, it's important to see, no, that ang Panginoon talaga, sinasabi niya kung ano yung importante. And that is to love God. No? So, some people, try to love God by, going to Mass, diba? Some, yung mga, they have some rituals, they go to yung mga processions, and they pray the rosary, a lot of things, no? And that's good. No? Pero, hindi pa rin yung lahat. That's not the thing that the most important is to have a relationship with God, no? Hindi pa umaabot sa kaibuturan ng ating puso. To love God with all our heart means, no, yung totoong relasyon ng Panginoon at ikaw, no? It means that, to love totally with our heart means intindihin muna natin what is the secular meaning of heart. It means feeling and emotion. Pag sinabi mo ngayon kasi, ano bang puso, di ba? Uso-uso yan eh. Hashtag puso. Diba? So, it means ano lang yan eh, feelings, emotion. No? But the biblical meaning of heart means it's the seat of intelligence and decision. No? In English, it's the mind and will. The heart is the core of a man. No? It includes intelligent thought, will, along with feelings. So, yung total person, yung biblical meaning of heart. So, kaya pala, next slide, please. Sorry so, that's love, no? So, it means talagang yung total being. Naalala ko tuloy, no? Share ko lang kasi wala akong sharer, kaya ako na rin mag-share. Yung wife ko dati, kasi kami, whirlwind romance. So, I met her when we were 23. Tapos, med rep po ako nung araw. I used to work for a pharmaceutical multinational company. And then, siya naman, anak ng drugstore owner. Siyempre, pag niligawan ko siya, kota na ako. Maraming order. But, that's not the purpose. Sabi ko lang, maganda itong girl na to. And then, she's my type. And then, ang nangyari, I keep visiting the drugstore ng nanay niya. Kasi siya mag-aaral ng medicine, mag-med school eh. So, pero ang nangyari, na-distract. Hindi na naging doktor, no? But, one time, nung kami na ayaw sa akin ng mother-in-law ko. Siyempre, sabi niya, ahente yan eh. No? Mga salesman, alam mo naman, mga salesman. Sino ba salesman dito? Nasa kamay? Walang mami. Okay. Anyway, so, parang kaduda-duda yung intentions. But after a while, naaway ako nung mother-in-law ko. And so, we nagtanan kami. So, tanongin niyo kung ilang months nung nagtanan kami. Ilang months? 4 months. So, 4 months lang tapos nagtanan kami. And so, that started our love story. Nung nagtanan kami, syempre, hindi pa kami masyadong magkakilala. So, our marriage was a whirlwind. That whirlwind romance became parang roller coaster yung amin. So, we had a lot of fights, no? And then one time we had a fight, and then parang she keeps on complaining. So I told her, kung hindi mo talaga naman ako gusto, then let's separate. Hayaan na natin maghiwalay na nagtalo. And she said, ito, hindi ko makakalimutan, hindi tayo maghihiwalay. Because I have decided to love you, whatever happens. So, in other words, yung love pala is a decision. I have decided to love you, whatever happens. So, to love God is also, something that is a total commitment, no? And that is developed through regular communion with Him. Like prayer time. Diba, pagka nagliligawan kayo, you have to know the person. After hinatid mo, pagkatapos mo hinatid, itong araw kasi atid mo, diba? Dati, nasa Manila siya, naka-assign ako sa Pangasinan. So, ihahatid ko siya sa Manila ng aking service car, and then uuwi na ako sa Pangasinan. Pag uwi ko sa Pangasinan, tatawagan ko pa siya, kumusta ka na? Okay ka ba dyan? Hindi ka napagod? Hindi, okay lang. Pero pagod ako naman, di ba? Siyempre, ganun yan. Pag in love ka, di ba? So, it's like that with God. Even if you're tired, even if you're parang kagagaling mo lang, for example, sa simbahan, you want to be with Him, you know, and just to pray again, Lord, you know, I'm so excited. Maganda yung ceremony, Father, ganyan, and I was really struck by that. And then, you have that communion with God. Parang mas nakikilala mo ang Panginoon, no? And then, it says here, next slide is, loving God with all our mind. No? When God created us, no, He enabled us to think. He did this so that we can serve Him, you know, na hindi pilit. Ibig sabihin, makakapag-isip tayo and how we can truly serve Him. No, we don't have to be intelligent to serve God. No, we simply have to make our minds available to God for God's purpose. Using our minds have incredible consequences. Sometimes yung mind natin can, if you're matalino, you use your talent, no, to become drug lord, pinakamagaling na smuggler, di ba? Matalino ka kasi, di ba? And also, you can use your mind as a good servant of the Lord. So, in both ways, using your mind, di ba, can actually have consequences, no? So, next slide. So, let your mind be preoccupied with the things of God. No? Avoid spreading, sabi nga, ngayon, usong-uso fake news. No? Pagka kita mo, alam mong, you know, you're intelligent naman, alam mong fake news, huwag mo nang i-pass sa spread sa mga kasama mo, di ba? Baka lalong nalilito sila. Keep free of evil thoughts, no? Uncharitable thoughts. Dwell more on what is beautiful and creative. Sometimes we look at things, no, and ask, ano ba to? Kasi ang sabi nila, pag all things of God are creative and beautiful, pagka destructive yan, hindi yan galing kay Lord, no? Kaya kung nag-iisip ka ng masama sa kapwa, hindi yan galing kay Lord, no? Galing yan sa ibang spirito, no? So keep your mind clean and holiness. Yeah. And in Matthew 5 verse 20, it says, anyone who looks at a woman and wants to possess her is guilty of committing adultery with her in his heart. Bakit nga ba woman lang? Diba? Di ba mga women din, tumitingin din kayo sa mga sexy na lalaki, di ba? If you look at the billboards in EDSA, di ba? Mga bench bodies. Sabi ko, hindi na naman yung mga sexy na bakit yung mga women? It's again, part of cleaning what is in our mind, no? Keep holy. I mean, sabi nga ni Father, maganda yung topic niya the other night, no? It's about temptation. Ano ang kailangan sabihin?
Patay kayo.
So, ang sabi ni Father, pagka yung tukso, patayin, iwasan mo na agad. You just, have to tell yun yung pang-kontra sa nagdidemonyo sa'yo. Use your mind according to God's truth, no? Be very discerning in what you see, read, or hear. In the use of multimedia nowadays, no, which can expose us to a lot of, evil things, no? And instead of, focusing, alam mo, ako, guilty ako rito Minsan, nilagay ko yung aking guide sa cellphone. Mag-prayer time ko. Usually, my prayer time is during, after breakfast, no? Coffee muna, then I'll bring my coffee, and then I'll read my scripture readings. Bumalik na ulit ako sa Bible, na physical Bible. Because yung nasa cellphone ko, minsan habang nagbabasa kami, magpa-pop up ng mga messages. Tapos biglang napupunta ako dun sa Facebook tuloy or sa WhatsApp. And it distracts me. So I went back to my Bible, and then sabi ko, wag muna yung cellphone habang prayer time ko kasi I don't want to be distracted. No? And I also, instead of listening to a lot of music na hindi ko masyadong kabisado, I listen to gospel music. No? So to love God with all our heart, and mind, you have to use anything that will bring God to your senses, no? Especially to love God with all our strength, ano ibig sabihin nito? Tayo binigyan ng Panginoon ng lakas, no? So, unang-una, binigyan tayo ng oras, no? To wake up in the morning and do things, work, no? Our days on earth are determined by God alone. So, si Lord naman galing yung oras natin eh. So, it is right to spend it as He commands, no? Ako ay honored brother, no? Kasi paalis siya, pero yung time na naiwan, instead na nasa airport siya nag-aantay doon, dito na lang, makinig muna siya ng talk, no? So, the proper attitude is to be generous with our time for service towards others, no? And for God. If you are pressed for time, for service, pray to God to fix your schedule. Napakagandang prayer yan for all of us, no? Na pagka medyo nag-aalala tayo, wala na akong time for service, wala na akong time sa iba, wala na akong time. Pray to God at ayusin yung schedule mo. Kung minsan magugulat ka sa sagot eh, minsan tatanggalan ka ng trabaho. Pero bibigyan ka ng panibago na mas mapapalapit sa gusto ng Panginoon. Amen? You have to trust Him lang, no? Simply enjoy the amazing works of the Lord. Promise, no? Ako, bago ko umalis dito, habang ako'y nag-prepare ng aking mga talks, may nakareceive ako ng letter. Oh, sir, may natanggap kaming letter from Dole. Kailangan, may hearing daw kayo, ha? Oh, may nagre-reklamo mga tao. Sige, nag-prepare. Tapos, a day before habang nag-brown out sa bahay namin, pagtingin ko, brown out ba? Pagtingin ko, kami lang, yung bahay lang namin ng brown out. Hindi pa ako nakakagawa ng talk. No? Tapos dinagdagan pa ng CLS talk yung So, praise be to God. So, we are to develop the proper attitude, no? In everything. No? Sabi nga ni St. Paul, praise, rejoice. So, we have to give our time and talent, no? Some of us, I'm so impressed with the talents ng music ng ating mga brothers, no? Akala ko nga kanina, parang candy yung music, no? Parang, piniplay sa Spotify, no? Tapos na nandito ko, kala ko may announcer sa likod. Napakaganda ng So if you really have this talents, please share it, and that's why our brothers are serving in the church, because they have the talent to sing, opportunity to network, if you have talents sa iba-ibang skills, not only music, please do share it and have things na makakatulong sa ibang tao. We are to develop these things, kasi sabi nga nila, if your talents, you don't use it for the Lord, minsan kinukuha ng Panginoon eh. Hindi mo naman pala ginagamit eh, di ba? Akin na lang ulit. So, I always, sabi ko, siguro dati kasi mahilig ako mag-detail sa doktor ng gamot, kahit hindi magaling yung gamot ko, napapaprescribe ko yung mga doktor. Sabi ko, yung pala yung training na ginamit sa akin, is panagamit ko rin when I give talks, di ba? Because, the Lord uses your talents and also your treasure. A lot of times, the last thing that is evangelized in our community or in people is their pocket, in their wallet, no? Sabi nga napakayaman naman ng ating community, napakayaman ng natin, ng ating simbahan, no? Kaya lang, yung pera wala sa simbahan, wala sa community, nasa bulsa at wallet pa ng mga tao, no? And that's why they call Catholics as the noisy giver. Kasi nga, ingay pag nagbigayan na daw ng puro barya kasi tunog ng tunog. Anyway, but then again, if we develop this attitude that, sabi natin, being poor in spirit, means being able to acknowledge that everything we have comes from God, then it will not be too heavy, alam naman natin, galing sa Panginoon lahat yan eh. Then it's easier for us to give and share, Alam nyo, sabi ko kanina, I have originally one child, and ngayon 7 na po sila. I didn't expect this, but sabi ko, kung bigay ni Lord yan bakit sino naman ako to say no? Lalo pat na sinasabi ko I am a missionary, mission volunteer, and then hindi ko tatanggapin yung mga bata na yan na nangangailangan naman ng tulong. No? So I said yes, and the Lord provides. You know, sabi ko nga, when they came to our home, hindi naman kami nauubusan ng pagkain. No, hindi naman kami nauubusan ng pagpunta ko sa Australia, sabi ng mga brothers namin at mga sister natin, uy, ang dami mo ng anak, dagdagan ko yung padala kong chocolate. Okay, dagdagan ko yung, amazing, no? How the Lord blessed us, no? So, we love the Lord with all our soul. What does this mean, no? Our love for God must be a total engagement, no? Our total being. Mapa-emotional, mapa-spiritual, mental, at physical. No? Yes, loving God is very high ideal. Minsan sasabihin mo, ganun pala ang gusto ng Panginoon na klaseng pagmamahal. No? I'd like to go to the slide of this by Pope John Paul. What really matters in life is that we are loved by Christ and that we love Him in return. In comparison to the love of Jesus, everything else is secondary. Without the love of Jesus, everything is useless. Brothers and sisters, if you look at this, no, parang napakaganda na malaman natin na, ito lang naman pala importante, no? And truly, if we love God, no, at ito lang naman ang balik natin sa Kanya because nauna naman minahal niya tayo So, just would like to ask right now, tingnan mo nga yung katabi mo. Sabihin mo sa kanya, God loves you. I am blessed that you're here. And so, diba, the second part of the greatest commandment is, love your neighbor. Yan. Alam nyo, yan ang challenge. Kasi sabi nga nila, hirap mahalin kapitbahay. I'll have to paraphrase this next slide. 1 John 4:20-21, it says, if you say, I love God, while you hate your brother or sister, you are a liar. How can you love God when you don't see how can you love God whom you don't see if you don't love your brother whom you see? No? So, brothers and sisters, ito yung challenge nga Kasi sometimes the Lord will bring us people who are difficult to love. Yun yung mga challenge sa atin, yung mismong mga katabi mo, yung mismong pamilya mo. Di ba minsan, yun ang mas challenging. Sabi nga nila, if you're closer to God, if you're closer to Jesus, the more bigger the cross becomes. Habang napapalapit ka sa Panginoon, tanungin niyo yung mga members dito. Di ba? Kasi it's really true. But the thing is, there's always joy in doing that. No? When you embrace the cross, there's always joy. And so, next slide, we'll see how love is described in Corinthians. Next slide. So, love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It's not self-seeking. Maraming beses narinig na natin ito And even pag kinakasal kayo, yung mga kinasal dito, minsan I'm sure some of you use this as your parang wow, diba? It's good. Next slide. So, next slide tayo, okay. Yan. Love bears all things, believe all things, hope all things, endures all things. Ang pinaka na-realize ko nung nag-asawa kami, nung nagpakasal ako, sabi kasi nila, ang pag-aasawa ay napakahirap. Mahirap po mag-asawa. Relasyon, occasion to be married couple is mahirap, di ba? Pero ang totoo pala, hindi pala mahirap. Napakahirap. Pagbagong, sabi ng isang pare, alam nyo, totoo naman yan Kasi pagbagong kasal, ang kanta nila, papuri sa Diyos, di ba? Yan, mga first 3 years yan. Yun yung mga honeymoon stage. Pagkatapos nun, ang kanta nila, Panginoon, maawa ka. Pag tumatagal, Panginoon, maawa ka. Tapos pag more than 10 years na, kunin mo, O Diyos, at tanggapin mo. Ito na, Lord, kunin mo na itong asawa ko. Ayaw magbago. No? So, but it says here, love bears all things. You know, believes all things, hope all things, and endures all things. So, it's important that we remember this. Pagka nahihirapan kayo mag-asawa, remember your commitment, no? Wala akong, sa amin mga salesman dati, no return, no exchange. No? Pagka ho, in-order mo na ho yan, order na po yan, hindi pwedeng solid, di ba? So, next slide. So, looking at how God, you know, really showed us a model of truly, no, Lord Jesus love with self-sacrificial love. John 15:13 says, there's no greater love than this, to give one's life for his friends. Yes, not all of us will have the privilege to become martyrs like the apostles. Not all of us are called to die, no, for our faith. But all of us are called to live our faith. No? Living for our faith will mean dying to oneself every day for the good of the beloved. No? Every day po kailangan self-emptying tayo. Kung minsan napakahirap gawin, but ito yung tawag sa atin eh. No? Alam niyo yung sa mag-asawa, ano yung successful sa tanong ng isa pa, bro, paano nagtatala ng mag-asawa mo? Simple lang yan. You die to yourself every day. No? Pag-isip mo, almusal pa lang, syempre, di ba? Ayan na naman, ayan na naman. So, die to yourself, Lord. So, now, let me love my spouse more, no? As you love me. So, we are called to love, no? And tell about, nakita ko kasi na dito maraming young couples, marami pang mga batang mag-asawa, no? And truly, if you are in community, malaking tulong po yun. Napakadami po ng natutunan namin mag-asawa in community. Because of community, we were able to get support from our household servants, yung household leader namin. No? Kahit po madaling araw, pagka nag-away kami, tatawagan ko yung household servant ko. Sabi ko, bro, naaway ako ni, balikan muna rito, usap muna tayo. Diba? Pero kung wala ako sa community, kung natawagan ko yung ibang barkada ko, halika muna, mag-beer muna tayo, mag-ano muna tayo. Iba yung nangyari, tuloy, di ba? Hindi niyo pansinin niyo yung mga ibang barkada, like, if you have still friends, no? Iba yung advice nila. Pagka nag-aaway yan, kaya mo yan, bro. Minsan, ang payo pa sa'yo, hiwalayan mo na yan. Ikaw kasi, di ba? Pero with community, it's different. Because they are God's anointed, spiritually mature people. At sasabihin pa nila sa'yo, bro, kaya yan. Ayusin natin yan. Matutulungan nito dyan. And a lot of times, a lot of marriages were saved. No? A lot of relationships. No? Even family, sisters, siblings. No? Ang daming mga nangyari na yan. No? So, I'd like to go to this image. No? Ito, napaka-gandang image. I always remember what my spiritual director, a good friend, a priest, who said to me. Sabi niya, every day you go out, no? If you do the sign of the cross, always pray na yung thoughts, no? In the name of the Father, may my thoughts be for you, O God. And your heart may be filled with Jesus' heart also, and they be a model for them. And your actions be guided by your Spirit. So, your thoughts, your heart, and your actions be guided by the Spirit. So, every day you make the sign of the cross, remember. No? At pinaka-powerful pa yung pagka umaalis ako formation, yung wife ko, sinahan niya ako ng sign of the cross. He blessed me, and so that I'll be protected. No? Napakahirap kasi ng malayo sa pamilya. Right now, if I go to mission, syempre, nahihiwalay ka sa pamilya mo. But I know that the Lord has been blessing my family as well. Sabi nga ng isang kaibigan ko, alam mo, yung pamilya mo habang nag-mission ka, habang you do work for the Lord, ano yan, mga lucky home partners yan eh. Diba? Parang, di ba, nabunod ka, na-bless ka, pero at the same time, oy, may blessing din yung family mo. Like you. So, it's always like that. The blessing is there. No? But we have to really continue to lift up to God and just surrender to Him. So, next slide. Yeah. So again, it reminds us, no, love is patient, love is kind, no, and it does not envy. So with this, siguro if we look at this very familiar word na to, very familiar na verse, no. But I would like to request you, no, yung ating mga participant, to read the passage, but substitute yung love, no? Lahat ng love dyan, palitan niyo ng I. At basahin natin sabay-sabay. So, I am patient. I am kind. I boast. I am not proud. I am not rude. I am not self-seeking. I am not easily angered. I keep no record of wrongs. I does not delight in evil. Does not rejoice in the truth. I always trust, I always hope, I always persevere. Tama ba yung sinabi ko? Parang, but then again, you know the context, no? Palitan natin ng ako at lagyan natin, titignan natin na kung basahin natin ulit, magkakaroon ng ibang meaning kasi ang dali-daling sabihin eh. Pero pag sinabi mo ako ay hindi magiging, no? I will be patient, no? Ako hindi ako magiging pala inggit, hindi ako magiging mayabang. No? Sabi nga kasi nila, walang nakakarating sa langit kung mayabang. No? I will not be proud. No? And then I will become truly a servant of the Lord. No? It's a characteristic of Catholics. Sabi nga ni Father kanina, napakaganda yan, kahit na may sinabi siya kanina eh, kahit na may sinasabing mali against us, He says, bless you, di ba? Hindi tayo nakikipagtalo, hindi tayo nakikipag-argue. No? God loves us because, nakita natin how it is to be in the midst, of being abundant in grace. Alam niyo, isa sa mga nasabi sa akin na hindi ko makakalimutan, yung ating mga spouse is a gift from God. No? Regalo ng Panginoon sa atin yung mga partner natin eh. No? Kaya pala, di ba, ang tawag sa atin God's gift? Diba? Regalo. Kaya pagka regalo ng Panginoon sa'yo, huwag kang magre-reklamo. No? Regalo lang naman yan eh, di ba? So, sabi yan, okay, Lord, thank you sa gift ha. pero may pero pa, gift na nga lang sa'yo yan eh. Huwag ka na magreklamo. No? We respond to His gift by being thankful, by being thankful, be thankful always. So, by witnessing to God, tonight, kasi ang sabi sa akin, I have to finish it so you have time to discuss, no? I truly pray that, you will continue to do this, attend the continuing seminars, no? There are a lot of things that we can learn in community. And a lot of times, if we just surrender our time, talent, and treasure to God, it will be easier. Sabi nga, it's easier to obey than to disobey. Di ba tayo, mga parents, nakikita natin yung mga anak natin, pag hindi sumusunod, ba't kami hindi sumusunod? Ang dali-dali naman sumunod. Mas mahihirapan ang buhay natin pag hindi tayo sumusunod. If only be obedient to the Lord, then our life will be easier. Amen? So may God be praised.